Welcome back to the Daily Push with Alicia, the Impact Mentor. Today, we're going to be talking about what happens when you are currently living your best life. So, I brought this up because I was having a conversation with one of my current clients. And one of the things that would frustrate me sometimes when talking to her or, just supporting her was there was just some things that I really felt like she wasn't pushing on, especially in the direction that she wanted to go in. So she has always had a vision and a dream to start her own show, whether that is a YouTube show, a live stream show, a TV show. She's always wanted something like that. But when it came to supporting her and trying to give her the tools and resources that she needed to walk in that direction, she would kind of let's just be honest, she would kind of flake. She would, get overwhelmed and all of the things. And this is not necessarily a bad thing, but you can clearly tell that there's a block. There's something else. And for a really long time, I thought it was just because maybe it was because she was a solopreneur. She does 90% of of the work herself. She Everything required to run her business, she does it herself pretty much. She has a VA to take on some tech pieces here and there, but for the most part, she's producing her own content. She's writing her own emails, things like that. She uses her own, email marketing platform. She can go in there, send emails, schedule email, all the things. She does her own sales, all the things. True essence of a solo entrepreneur. So I was just thinking, oh, to her, maybe this was just one more thing that she had to deal with. And now this is, over the span of 2 years. And so in the first year of that, that's what I really thought. And then we end up coming back together to work together in a different capacity. So, working with her with building some proper funnels for her not new, but her current stage of business. And after a really good conversation with her about her goals, her dreams, and something that she said triggered this internal, and let's just say Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit brought to light something that I was able to articulate to her. And when I gave her this revelation, she felt better. I could just hear it in her voice. And when we were talking about our goals and talking about what's next or talking about, what's the bigger vision. And so for me, I have a bigger vision outside of my business. It's always been to be a multimillionaire and to basically become a professional philanthropist and just sit on my couch and cut checks. And so for me, I always had this kind of thought process. Well, everybody should have a dream outside of their business. And I soon discovered that a lot of people don't have a dream outside their business, so it's hard for me to compute that sometimes. So in talking to her, I realized that she was already living her best life. And so when she told me about her childhood and what her socioeconomic background was growing up, to fast forward where she is now, I told her, I said, "Hey, let's pause for a second. And I want to tell you, you, we should take a moment to really celebrate the fact that you were able to cross over an, a social economic line." I said, "You are a high six figure earning person. And because of that, and that's not how you grew up. You didn't grow up in six figures, right? You didn't even grow up with high five figures household. So the fact that you were able to cross over a almost an economic line, that's an accomplishment. So if you've ever been, if you've ever grew up in a household where there was a lot of lack, you couldn't afford to do a lot of things, you had to go without, then if you now make six figures, it's really hard for you to see the next thing because you're currently living the dream. And so for her, I had to get her to see because she was beating herself up. Why won't I go for it? Because she even noticed it within herself. She was like, I really don't have another goal. I mean, yeah, still want to do my show, but I'm not in a rush. Like, there wasn't a sense of urgency within her to move to the next thing or feel she had to come with thing. And she was putting pressure on herself to figure out what the next thing was for herself. And she really just figured out that she was enjoying the stage that she was at. This is what she worked for, and so she was getting very comfortable in where she was. And that's an amazing thing, and I wanted her to love that for her. And I think when I told her that, it gave her so much peace. And she became really excited about the fact that, yeah, you're absolutely right. I didn't even realize that that's something that I've done. And so for me, I actually grew up in a six-figure household. And so I haven't really crossed any economic line yet, still in that class, middle class. So for me, my next step is to move over into that seven-figure line, right? Into that wealthy line, whatever you call it. So, what happens when you're already living the dream? One, just make sure that you acknowledge that you are currently living your dream. If you're feeling you're not moving forward, I don't have any push, I don't have any rush, I don't have this sense of urgency, but everybody else is doing this and everybody's doing that. Take a moment to just acknowledge and be in a huge space of gratitude and accept the fact that, man, right now life's pretty good. And there's nothing wrong with saying that. There's nothing wrong with wanting to just be in the space that you have worked so hard to be. So I would say that's number one. Number two is allow yourself to dream, free flowing. Don't be attached to anything, but it goes back to dreaming. Goals only come from desires. And if you don't really have any desires, it's because you really haven't allowed yourself to explore new possibilities. Because right now, where the lifestyle that you're living right now is the thing that you were dreaming about. The lifestyle that you have right now is the thing that you have on your vision board. But now you get the opportunity to dream more. So if this is my new starting point, what are the millions of possibilities that I can go to next? So I would say that would be the second thing is to allow yourself to start to dream of new opportunities, new possibilities that you can go from where you are now and let go of where you came from to an extent. Start at where you are now. So if I'm here, where else can I go? And as you allow yourself to dream, as you allow yourself to get those visions, as you allow yourself for imaging to come in your mind, really start to pay attention to what makes, your spirit jump. Pray. Don't forget to pray. Bring all of this to God. So remember, you're supposed to bring all of this. And so when you're in that space of gratitude, be grateful and acknowledge all that God has done for you, in you, through you, and bring that to the table and then ask God, what's next? Right? So you're dreaming, then three, what's next? That is your prayer. All right. I'll see y'all tomorrow.